In this video, I'm going to show you how to write a sinusoidal equation for the word problem, which we call it modeling periodic behavior. Modeling periodic behavior means, in other words, write the equation, sinusoidal equation for the story given to you. But before we start at the word problem, we would take a look at some generic problem which you are given 2 points. So take a look at this warm up. First, you will need a calculator. So make sure you have a calculator which is in the radian mode. And also, whenever we are using calculator, your answer must be always correct to 3 decimal places. For this, we have very strict rules. You can either truncate or you can round to 3 decimal places. So first of all, let's take a look at these 2 points. First, high point on a sinusoid. Sinusoid means a wave. Think of sinusoid means a wave. This is a x, this is y. The next low point is 18 and negative 9, which is again, this is x, this is y. So you are always given a 2 points. Again, this problem has no story involved, so I'm just giving you 2 points and then we have to write the equation. Later on, we will look at the example where we have a given some points and then we have to identify the. So first of all, let's sketch the graph and identify which is where x is a 2, height is 15. So I'm just a general sketch. This is 15, this is 2, 18 and negative 9. Negative 9 is somewhere below. So think about this is negative 9. Now we are not drawing a straight line. Our assumption is this is a trig wave. Sinusoidal means sine or cosine anything, and never connect this. We don't know where it's going. We only have this information, high and low. Okay, so now we have to find the critical points, which are maximum, minimum, and write a function. So let's talk about what kind of equation we are looking for. We are looking for y is equal to a sine or cosine b x minus c plus d. We have to find this equation. So first let's find out a, b and d, and we have to find out amplitude, vertical shift, and b. So a and d, find those first. Think about d is the average height. Average height, how do you find of average of anything? And a and d involves y value. So 15 and negative 9. Average height is you add 15 plus negative 9 divide by 2. So 15 plus negative 9, so 14. So height is a 7. Can we say that? And a is a maximum plus minimum divide by 2. So 15 minus 9, 8, 8, 4. So let's check. Is that, so sorry, that's not the 7. And so this would be, I'm double checking. I'm sorry, my mistake. D is a 3 and A is a 12. I did not do the math correct. A average height, let me bring it back here. Average height is maximum plus minimum divided by 2. This is a maximum and this is a minimum. So again, D is the average, max plus mean divided by 2, which is a 3. And A is the difference, maximum minus minimum divided by 2. We are trying to find the height. Okay, so now let's talk about the period. Period is always x values. So 2 and 18. What's the difference between 18 and 2? Period is always positive, so you can say x1, y1, x2, y2. And difference between 18 and 2, this is half the period. Half the period is 16, so you can say full period is 32. Okay, one more time. A is the maximum minus minimum divided by 2, and D is max plus mean divided by 2. Always remember one thing, don't memorize both of them. always say D is the average. How do you find average? Average of anything is the sum of those two divided by 2 is the average. And the A is you can figure out from D. You can always say that that would be the other way around. Okay, so now we have to write the equation. To write the equation, always look for cosine. Look for cosine. So I'm just explaining this equation. An equation always have equal to sign. So y equal to A, amplitude is A cosine because you are starting from maximum. So you write the equation from here, maximum. Period is 32. So B is 2 pi over 32. So you can keep it 2 pi over 32, or you can simplify to pi over 16. You still get full credit. And C is a 2 unit to the right. So that's why x minus 2 and plus 3. This is a D. So A, B, C, and D. You must get the equation. Now there are two possible equations. You can write this, or you can write negative cosine. For the word problem, do not attempt to write the sine equation because it's a very complicated sign and you have to put in some extra effort to find the equation find the C for the sine. So try to avoid writing sine equation because of difficult to find C. So now how do we use this equation? Model means equation. So this is my model. 12 cosine pi over 16 x minus 2 plus 3. Now to use it, we have to know how to use the calculator. So first of all, I'm going to show you how to enter this equation in the calculator. Check the mode of your calculator. Is it a radian mode? So come back, put y equal to 12 cosine. Now, anytime you have a parenthesis, fraction, you must have extra parentheses. Must have extra parentheses. First of all, let me fix this in always in front. So I'm going to add extra parentheses. Pi divide by 16. You can use 2 pi over 16, 32 also. Uh, eh, this is the x minus 2. Close the parentheses. Another parenthesis plus 3 and enter. Okay, so one more time, check your equation. 12 cosine extra set of parentheses because of the fraction x minus 2, close the two parentheses and 3. Okay, so I'm keeping this equation in a calculator. Now let's check what do we have to find. This says use your function to evaluate f of 21.3, which means x is equal to 21.3. What is a y? And we have a very intelligent calculator. So we have to come back on a home screen. Now, if you go in the table, you have to scroll down so much and then again you can't enter 21.3. So for that part, we have a nice fancy way to do it. So press alpha trace of y1 parenthesis 21.3, close the parentheses and you will get the answer. So this is negative 6.567. Make sure how to write your answer. Negative 6.568 or negative 6.5678. We will accept these two answers only. Nothing but you either round or you truncate. I will accept both answers. So one more time, how do you find alpha trace and y1? Okay, so those who have older calculator and do not have this feature, this is for them. Press vars, go to the y variable and then press enter. One more time enter and then you will have equation. So this is for those older calculator who do not have a alpha trace feature. Okay, one more time. What this means is when x is 21, what is the y? Okay, so now let's take a look at the second part. Second part says use your calculator to find the first three positive values for x when f of x is a 5. So what that mean is 5 equal to 12 cosine pi over 16 x minus 2 plus 3, and you have to find x value. We are not going to solve algebraically. We are going to do graph and intersect. We are going to do graph and intersect. So one more time, how to use the calculator. Pay attention for this part, and if you need to, rewind the video and watch again. So one more time, I have a y equal to equation given to you. Y2 is equal to, I'm going to put it 5 and enter. Now we have to set the window. If I press the graph button, I do not see the whole thing. I see only one intersection. I need a first three positive values. So let's press the window. X minimum 0, X maximum is, I'm going to say 20, let's say, until I see the three positive intersections. Never change the scale. Y max, let's keep it 15. Okay, and let's place the graph. Now again, I can only see one intersection. So let's go back in the window and to say X maximum is, let's say 50. Now, okay, so now I have to find these three intersection, 1, 2, and 3. So let's check the window again. 0 to 50, negative 10 to negative 15, as long as I can see three intersection. Okay, so positive 3 means first, second, and third. If it says a negative, then you have to go in the other direction. Okay, so how do we find first one? Second and trace. 5. Okay, so I'm going to bring it closer to the first intersection. Closer to the first intersection. And you don't necessarily have to have on top of it. You have to have somewhere in this region. So press 3 times enter. 1, 2, 3. So 9.147. That's the first intersection. 9.147. 9.147. And now I want you to find other two intersection. Again, repeat the process, same. Second and trace. Number 5. Go to the other intersection. Go to the somewhere in that area and press 1, 2, 3. That's the second intersection, 26.853, and the third one. So we do not include any stories here. We just have to find x and y and write the equation. So now let's take a look at the word problem, which we have some story involved. Okay, so here for this, we are going to look at the most classic scenario, the Ferris wheel problem, which you have already learned so many times in Algebra 2. So diameter is a 40 feet, which means radius is 20. One revolution every 8 seconds, which means period is 8 seconds. Wheel is 25 feet above the ground. So visualize that this is 25 feet and this is a 20. Remember the radius is 20. So 20 and 20. So maximum point is 45. Minimum point is at 5. T be the number of seconds elapsed since Ferris wheel started. D is the distance your seat is above the ground. So from this story, you have to extract the 2 points which we need in the other example. So assumption that t equal to 0, you are just sitting in the lowest seat, which is a 5. And 8 seconds later, you are back here. But halfway through, you are highest point 45. So these are your 2 points, just like the previous example we did. So let's try to plot the point. The 0 is imagine this is a 5. We don't need to have very accurate. And 1, 2, 3, 4. You are at 45. Back 5, 6, 7, 8. You are back here. So pretend that this is a path of the Ferris wheel. You have to find a value of A and D. Remember, D is the average. Average is always Sum of the two, divide by 2, which is 45 plus 5, 50 divided by 2 is 50. A is, you can say, amplitude is the radius, and which is 20. B is 2 pi over period, which is 8. Period is 8. So what equation would be the easiest in this case is negative cosine. Negative 25, oh sorry, not 25, negative 20 cosine 2 pi over 8 x with a 0 shift and 25. This would be your equation. So go ahead, put this equation in a calculator like I showed you in the previous example. Y equal to, make sure you have extra set of parentheses, and put this equation in the calculator. Okay, so we have this equation negative 20 cosine. I simplify 2 pi over 8 as a pi over 4 x plus 25. Now this example is asking for, use your model to predict the height of the seat at 5 seconds. So remember, this is the x is equal to 5. You don't want to use the home screen, you can go back and use the equation calculator feature, that you can come back on a home screen. Remember alpha trace, no, not sorry, that alpha trace, you can get the y1 and you have to put 5 in this equation, and then you have to find the value. Now I did not put the new equation in the calculator, so my answer will not be correct, but I'm going to give you the answer. Answer is 39.142 feet. The word problems, I want you to write the answer in context. T equal to 5 seconds. What? The height, 3 decimal places with unit. Okay, so now the second part of the question is asking that what's the first time you will be at 21 feet height? So same as the previous example here, you will have to do y1, y2 graph and intersect. So make sure your y1 is equal to, you already used that example in the previous, when you found A, you keep this equation, y2 is equal to 21, and you have to find the first intersection. You have to find the first intersection. So in the calculator, when you, 21 is, this is D is 25, so 21 is somewhere here. You have to find this first intersection. What would be the time? And that time you have to identify. So go ahead, use the calculator, graph an intersection, and you should get this answer, 1.744 second. That means when the height is 21 feet, time is 1.744 second. So please watch this video again if you need any help with the calculator. Again, calculator, you have to put this equation, y1, y2, and graph an intersection, second and trace, 5, and you should be able to find all the answers. Make sure calculator is in a radian mode. So